everybody, and yes, today we are talking about women in the media industry, and I am super excited to introduce you to two amazing ladies that know what it's like to build a company in this very tough and male-dominated industry, the ladies of 4-Star Casting. I am joined today by Alicia Saman and Jessica Needham. Yes, thank you ladies for being here. Thank you so much. You ladies are amazing. You have built 4-Star Casting, which is not an easy feat. And Jessica, especially the blood, sweat, and tears that you've put into this company. Can you share a little bit about what 4-Star is, what it's all about,
Sure.
and maybe some of the challenges you faced along the way?
Sure. We're a casting company here in Chicago. We're locally built and grown. It's myself and my business partner Erin who started the company about 9 years ago. We worked for another person, a man, which was great. But then we were like, I think we could do it better. So we left and went out on our own. We primarily cast extras, but we also consider ourselves kind of a gateway between the extras community and actors achieving their dreams. So we really try to build our extras up to get to the next level, and many of our extras have now signed with agents and don't do extra work anymore. They're getting speaking roles. So we're really trying to kind of bridge that gap and just educate this community and empower them to move forward in their careers.
That's fantastic, and I love what you said about building up extras, so you just don't stop with, hey, you're an extra, you're doing this role, we as 4-Star benefit, and that's it. You're actually concerned about the futures of the extras that you employ.
I would say it's really important to us. One thing that we noticed when we started 9 years ago was that, it's about caring about people.
Yes.
Our department is the only department in all of TV and film that really just deals with people, and I'll say Alicia is, I call her my bossy assistant, but Alicia...
Lovingly.
It's going to be our TV show. Alicia is really great. She was a great find because, well, I would say she found us. She's...
the lovely.
But one thing that she's really brought to the company has been that encouragement. I've always loved our extras, but she loves them as much as I do, and she really reaches out to the community and loves just helping people get to that next level, and we love to employ people who love people. So.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great segue to you, Alicia. So tell us about your experience with 4-Star. We can feel the love. So tell us about your experience with 4-Star.
Yes, I do, and I wish I could say that I've been here since the very beginning, but I haven't been. I started a couple years ago, and Jess gave me the opportunity, pretty much threw me to the wolves, but I went after it.
Lovingly.
Well, she has a way of doing that quite often, but it's all good. I love it. It forces me to grow, but pretty much my goal was to get into the extras casting department. So I thought about what can I do to get into the extras casting department, and I said to myself, go be an extra.
Right.
So I started following them on Facebook. If you're not following 4-Star, you definitely should be on all social media. It's at 4-Star Casting. Shameless plug, I got it.
Oh, there you go.
So 4-Star Casting, so I started following them on Facebook, and one day, it was like, the very top was like, casting, Empire, and then it was like, role, tall blonde waitress. And I'm like, done, I'm in. So I sent in, and then definitely like within a couple hours, they sent an availability check, and that's how our process goes, and then a book to work email, and next thing you know, I was actually going on the set as an extra, but my goal was to meet whoever the owners were, because I didn't know who they were. I just saw the logo, which was like a brunette and a ginger, and I'm like, okay, so it has to be one of them. So I was really antisocial on set because my goal was to get into the department, so I didn't really want to make any friends, so I kind of kept to myself and just stayed in the corner. I had a goal, that's why I was there. I listened to them, I followed directions, and then one day this guy came up to me and said, like, you don't really talk to anybody. I'm like, no, I'm just looking for the owners. And she's like, and he said, and he's my friend Paul, he's like, oh, there goes one right there. And that's when it began.
That is awesome. That is awesome. She stalked you, right?
I like to say that, one thing that's funny about like our community and extras and people wanting to be in the industry, everyone wants to be a star, right? So that's the big thing. I just want to be famous, I want to be a star. But they don't realize the amount of work that goes into getting there.
That's right.
And I will say, Alicia's always a great example, and I always bring this up, but she was somebody who said, this is my goal, and then she did everything she could to achieve it.
Absolutely.
You have to keep knocking on that door, because the first time she came up to me, I was like, yeah, okay, great, nice to meet you.
Send me your
Send me your resume.
Because you see,
that's
because you
that.
see umpteen resumes every day.
Yeah, and
Yes.
then but it's more about like, well, what can this do for me instead of what can I do for you?
Right.
And I feel like when someone comes to you and says, what can I do for you and your company
Right.
and this industry, then it's appealing. And then it also makes you want to help them achieve whatever goals they have outside of, your company.
You form a relationship.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I have a question though, like,
Yeah.
because I know that you get inundated with tons of resumes,
Sure.
and people are always in your face. But like, what was it so special about Alicia that inspired you to bring her on board?
I think the fact
And you
that
just put on the spot, but that's
yeah.
okay.
Oh no. I would say honestly, it was the fact that she said, I want to do this, not I want to be an actor.
Yeah.
And so can I help you out and then become an actor? It's like she wanted to be in casting and she wanted to help people, and also she's just real happy.
Yeah.
And this is I'm being serious. When you are on set for 16 hours a day,
Well, that's true.
you need
Yeah.
people around you that you enjoy being around.
That is so
Yeah.
true.
And that's true if you're on the backside of it or you're an actor.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Because we have worked on sets with extras or actors, and we've seen it. Actors who are leads in shows that we work on that are miserable to be around.
Yeah.
And those actors get written out. They get, nobody wants to work with them. They don't work again. It's interesting. So a lot of it was, I will say it's her drive. I looked for that.
And I asked that, Tracy, because you deal with a lot of different types of personalities.
That's right.
And talent types, and so everybody has this. Not everybody, but a lot of people that are interested in this industry are passionate about, and are specific in their passions.
That's
and
right.
so, it's like, how do you, define the difference between whether you want to work behind the scenes or in front of the camera, if you can do both.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so we know that Alicia has done both.
Yeah.
So, what helps to define the difference,
Well, and I do both too. I have an agent, so I did musical theater for 15 years before I did this.
So you had an appreciation for being on both sides.
Well, and I think
You have a
that's the
background.
difference, I will say like our companies is run really well because Erin, my business partner, she's on the production side.
Okay.
She came from production. She did 15 years in soap operas, and she was producing and she was writing. So she brings a strong production background, and then I came from the acting side and the artist side. So I feel like her strengths lie in that and stuff where I'm like, let's do this, and she's like, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas my strengths lie in the people side of it,
Yes.
and I connected immediately with Alicia on that part of it. So our company, we definitely have our people that are great at the logistics, getting the people there, the details, and then we have the other side of the company that's like, we need to empower and we need to be fun and we need to make it something that's enticing for people to work at, and also we understand dreams,
There you
which
go.
sounds cheesy, but like
No, but it's
this
But
whole
it's true.
industry is
It's
about
true.
dreams
It's
and
true.
art and
That's true.
you know.
But what I really respect is that you treat it as it is a business.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times people are, they're just enamored with the idea of being in front of the camera, and they think it's glamorous, and we all know sitting here there is a lot of work that happens behind the scenes to get in front of the camera and for it to look the way that you want it to look, right? So I actually applaud you for not only taking this so seriously, but also being serious about the development of the extras that you work with.
I like to say to people, like, to be, I always say this when I teach workshops, but I'm always telling them, you have to be yourself incorporated. So like, that's my Instagram
That's
name,
so
Shameless
true.
Plug, Just
Yes.
Incorporated. No, because I say that you have to be your own business. It doesn't matter if you have an agent or a manager, but it's about, ultimately, for us as artists, it's the art, right?
Yes.
We do everything. We're doing this because of the art of it.
Yes.
But for the industry, it's about the money.
True.
It's about the business.
That's true.
And so it's like, let's make money doing our art. How do we do that? We have to run it like a business.
Absolutely.
And that is a very hard line to walk, I think, because sometimes you feel like the art can get lost in the business. So I think finding that balance.
Right, absolutely.
And I do want to say, starting as an extra and now working in the department as far as like casting goes, that's one thing that everything that Jess is saying are things that kept me happy and wanting to pursue 4-star, because in the beginning it was just like an idea, but I didn't understand the business. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I really kept an open mind, but when I saw the integrity and when I saw what 4-star stood for and when I saw really what they were about and the fact that they wanted to groom the extras is something that I really wanted to be a part of. And that's something that I really admire is their work ethic. And Jess and Erin, they both have impacted my lives because they are two completely different women, but they have the same goal and they have the same vision. And that's what I wanted to tie myself into, and I actually really wanted to help them like grow and develop it. So 4-Star is just an amazing company, and
That's fantastic.
like again,
That's
just great.
fantastic. Yes, that's awesome. And I have to say that someone listening to this right now who is now getting really excited, like, oh, I could do this, I could be an actor, I'm going to call 4-Star.
Sure.
I'm assuming that not all casting agencies have the same ethics that you have or have the same belief system that you have. So if someone is watching this and they can't necessarily join 4-Star, but they want to get into this and they are serious about being an extra, what are some of the things that you would advise them to look out for? Because not every company is a 4-Star casting.
Sure. I'd say the main thing is to see what projects they're working on, because that's going to tell you if they're legit or not.
Right.
It's the same thing with finding an agent, or any kind of school that you're involved in. You always need to see who's coming out of that school, who's
Right.
teaching at that school, where are they from, why are they qualified to teach this class, why are they qualified to cast extras, have they done other shows? And then I would look at reviews. Honestly, people review us.
We're in a review age,
Yeah,
right?
and it's a huge thing, and word of mouth is a big thing too. And also to understand that coming from our perspective, we've gotten negative reviews or negative feedback of things that were out of our control, that were things that happened on set when we weren't even there, production. So like taking everything with a grain of salt and understanding that if a company asks you to submit a certain way and you're submitting this way, and they're mad at you or they don't cast you because you didn't follow their rules, they're correct actually. Like it's everybody, because we're all different. We all
So
have
don't
our-
take it personally.
Don't take it personally.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very hard because isn't art so personal?
It is.
Yes.
It
And
is.
when
Yes.
I always tell everyone when we're doing it, we're giving a little piece of our soul away every time we do art.
Absolutely.
And then we have to refill, and so it's like you have to learn that it's so not personal and it's so hard to do. I mean, I work on the casting side and I'm an actor and I still have a hard time remembering.
Right.
And I even know how it works and I have a hard time. So
Absolutely.
just knowing, like, I think the integrity of a company shows by how much work they're getting, but also how the people speak about them.
Absolutely.
You do one day on set and you know.
Well, I was just gonna say, I was introduced to 4-Star by Erica,
Yes.
and I had never done anything even remotely close to being an extra. And Erica said, "Oh, you can do it," and so I did. And luckily for me, I had the experience on Empire twice.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know, as much fun as I had, it's a long day.
It's
It's
so
a
long.
long
It's so
day.
long.
I walked around in 4-inch heels. Right. I walked around in 4-inch heels for hours. My feet were hurting.
bleeding
I mean,
feet.
I was hungry, but if I had to do it all over again, I would.
Yeah.
Because of the people that
Yeah.
I met and the connections that I've made. What are some of the other sides of being an extra that we really should just put out there so people aren't disillusioned? Because again, there's still this, romanticized version. We don't want them to be disillusioned.
Well, the fun part of being an extra, I'll say this, the fun part is that you get to see the people that you idolize and you love
Yes,
in person doing their craft.
that's true.
And you get to see their process.
Yeah.
I like to call extra work a paid class. Like, we're paying you to take a class on how to be on camera.
That is so true.
And I would say, like, if you go into it with that idea, it's a long day.
It is.
Yeah.
And depending on the show, right? So
Right.
you also have the right as an extra to say, is this an outdoor scene in
Right.
Chicago in January?
Yeah.
Is this, is this a club scene? Am I going to be listening to loud music all day?
Right.
And you have to know what you're getting into and ask those questions, because a lot of the time we deal with hundreds and hundreds of people daily.
Yeah.
So for us to get everybody like specific information is difficult. So you guys they need to ask. People need to know going into it, like, I'm gonna be sitting there a long time. Sometimes they lock up my phone.
Right.
So I might need to bring a book.
There you go.
I mean, I will say one thing on Empires, we had to start locking up people's phones because they were leaking information about the show, because everyone does that, right? But the last time we had a big day, they were playing Uno over here and spades over here. And people were talking, and it was like, oh my gosh.
It was like a big party.
It was networking, and that's something. But understand too the wardrobe, like you said, the heels. My sister,
Yes.
I put her on the show. She's like, this was the longest day of my life, and those heels killed my feet.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
You're
I
right.
soaked in
Yeah.
Epsom salt
Yes.
at home that night.
And,
But
and
yes.
knowing when you do it, like, okay, well, I'm wearing heels, but next time I can bring a pair of foldable flats.
Exactly, you learn.
Change
Yeah,
out
along
and
the
learn.
way. Yes,
I'm gonna bring
you do.
snack
Survival skills.
Survival
Yeah,
skills.
yes.
Yes.
This is also why, and I'm the one that does all of our our wardrobe. This is why we tell our background to bring heels with you to your wardrobe fitting and bring comfortable heels. Bring one with a chunky heel. Bring shoes that are really cute and fashionable so they can style you in something more comfortable. So it's like you kind of also have to help the process. You know it's going to be a long day.
Right.
I did it. I'm a vegetarian. I packed a lunch. Like you have to prepare yourself for it.
That's
So
true.
you know like it's going to be a long day. I'm going to be uncomfortable. So what can I do to make this process just a little bit happier and a little bit better for me that day?
Awesome.
And you know, as Alicia, she got me on 4-star.
Yeah.
Because I was on the other
Wait,
end.
Power Woman.
Yeah,
Wasn't
so
that your first
yeah.
day on there?
Well, that was my second one because
Okay.
I did FBI agent.
Oh,
Johnson.
yeah.
That was before my time.
Yeah, that's before your time.
She was a good FBI
You
agent.
But
told
that,
every
idea,
but
that's
that was
hilarious.
when I think I started following them.
Yes,
And
exactly.
I think that, and then you were like, I got on.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, you got on? I
Yes.
got on.
She
So I was on the other
she was so
end,
surprised you got on.
Yes, I was on the other end, and then
Yeah.
Alicia called. She said, we're looking for a power woman. This is perfect. This is just you.
It was a
We
Monday
need you."
morning.
And yeah, she's like, are you home? Are you available? Because I'm normally not on
Yeah.
Mondays. And so, I came
And
in
those
like
are
hash
rush
day.
calls.
But I still was prepared,
Right.
with the possibility of the day being a 12, 16-hour
That's
day.
right. Because you don't know when you're
You
going to
just
get
don't know. So I
I
pack up my laptop.
Yeah.
I take writing materials.
That's right.
Just extra change of shoes. I mean, just snacks. Even if you don't feel like walking to crafty or anything like that. Just making sure that you have, you're consuming your time when it's not being
to
consumed.
make it that much more enjoyable.
Because otherwise it could be, a treacherous experience.
Well,
and I know we're keeping it real, and it's about the time. But as a big picture, you're fulfilling your passion. You're accomplishing your goals. You're connecting with the right people. You're connected with an amazing organization
Absolutely.
that is providing these services. They're like no other in Chicago. I'm
That
sorry.
is so true. That's
I
so true.
deal with a lot of the other agencies, and they're like no other. And
Absolutely. I could not
Total
agree
winner.
more.
Total
Could not
winner.
agree more.
Seriously, like Erin needs to be here. Why isn't Erin here?
Erin's not an interview fan.
Oh, really?
She-
Well, okay, so in other words, we have to get her back. for
She's
a
like
future
Oz.
episode. Okay.
She's like the
All
great
right.
and powerful Oz.
Aaron, if you're watching, we want you on here.
Yeah.
As soon
And
as
she is a
possible. Okay.
fountain of information. Like
She is.
she's,
Wow.
and I think that's what makes us, what we love about hiring people and even hiring the extras is the varied community we have here in Chicago.
Right.
It's not like LA or New York, where I've lived in both, where it's very much, they're just here to
Like
be
little
extras
cliques,
or actors.
little
Yeah.
This
cliques
is
of
like,
people, right?
you'll go on set and meet someone who's studying for the bar exam.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Here's someone who's getting a
That's
PhD
so
in
true.
psychology and will tell you about your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
This woman reads crystals, spiritual stuff.
Yeah. Or a
You're
cello or a
cello.
rich
Celloist,
a
yeah.
Yes,
rich
it's
awesome.
retired
Yeah.
woman whose husband
Millions.
owns like millions
Millions
of
of
hotels.
hotels and-
Like you have no idea.
Where these
That's
people have
100%.
come from, and so it's like, it's so interesting, and that's what I love about our community is, and people doing, I love their second acts, that's what I call it. We met someone at a workshop we did who said, I was a firefighter, and now I'm an actor, and I was like, that's an amazing story. Like,
That's
your
right.
second act of your life is now you
I
trying
met
to
quite a
this
few
way.
retirees.
Yeah.
Yeah, they love it.
Never too
I
late.
met quite a few
Never too late.
when I did The Shy. I was
Yeah.
an extra on The Shy, and just again to the point of being on set a long day. We were outside all day, dressed up because it was a high-end fundraiser,
Yeah.
and it was hot that day. But I would do it all over again
Yes.
because the people were awesome. The production team, 4-star, of course, everybody. I met so many great people. I would do it again. I would sweat out there again because it was just worth it. So to your point, you don't know who you're going to meet,
Yeah,
and for that reason alone, it's worth giving it a shot.
yeah.
Besides, you can end up in one of Jess or Alicia's IG videos.
Oh boy, well that too, yes.
Which is
Yes.
so fun.
I love doing our videos.
Well, ladies, thank you so much
Yeah,
for being
thank
here.
you.
This has been too much fun. And yes, Erin, we want to see you next time.
Yeah.
Get you guys back with Erin, with
Yeah,
Erin.
we'll bring
But no, we appreciate all that you do and the chances that you give people that may not otherwise have had a chance to break into this very tough industry. So cannot thank you enough.
Oh, thank you. We love doing it.
Awesome, awesome. And again, everybody, if you are interested in finding out more about 4-Star Casting, that website link is somewhere at the bottom of the screen right now. Go there, get registered, and you just never know. You could have your next big shot coming your way very, very soon. We'll be right back.